Hello, amazing people. Welcome back to another beautiful tutorial. How you all doing, guys? Hope you're all doing great today, guys. Hope you're generally fine. Today, I want to show you how to make this very beautiful kaftan. This one has a slit on the lowest part. That's the two side slits, the two front pockets, as you can see, and of course, the trending collar. Now, this is a very sweet and simple dress to make. Trust me, you want to rock this one and have it in your closet. Without wasting much time, let's do this, guys. So this is the beautiful African print that I'm working with. I love this print so much, and of course with my working tools. Okay, yeah, so I'll just go ahead now and fold my fabric to my desired width and length. So I have exactly 6 yards here actually, but of course I'm not going to be using the entire fabric. So my fabric here, as you can see, I've gone ahead to fold it into 4, and of course I had to fold this along the yardage. Okay, so it's a full length of about 56. So if I had to 55 rather, if I had to fold along the length of 45, it will not be enough. I'll have to do some joining. So the best way to avoid joining is to fold it along the longer length, the yardage. So that's what we have here. So you can see folded into 4 because we're cutting front and back. Then I'm going to start now at that edge, and I'm going to mark 3 inches there. So after my 3 inches, I'll come to the edge there and go ahead and mark 1.5, and that is going to serve as my slope. So I'll just connect it to that 3 inches point, and there I will have my slope right there. So you can see. Now the next thing I'll do is to take a sleeve opening. So I use the sleeve opening of about 11.5. So you can see from that slope point, I marked 11.5. Then I'll extend the length, and that will serve as what my chest line. Okay, yes, that will serve as my chest line. Then after that, I'll go ahead and mark the other vertical line. So from the very top, I indicated the waistline, and that was at 17. The waist at 17. The hip line, I marked that at 24. Okay, 24. Then of course the my full length. So I'm working with 55, then plus extra 2 inches, for hemming on the lowest part and joining on the shoulder, and that made it what 57. Okay, yes, so that's what I have there. So at the end of the day, I used approximately 3.5 yards for this outfit, and so this is what we have. So I'm going to be working with the biggest measurement, and which is the hip here. The hip is 40 divided by 4, that is 10. I went ahead to add extra 4 inches because this is a BUBU, and that's made it what 14. So this is one measurement for all. So I'm using that 14 inches all the way. You can see me marking that. I marked it on my chest line, marking it on my waistline, and of course you can see I'm doing the same thing on my hip line, and I will extend this all the way till I get to the end of my dress. There you can see this now all the way. So once this is done, I'll just go ahead and connect all these points to a straight line, as you can see me doing. So on that waistline, I just went in to about 0.5 inches. So this is just to give it a little bit of that slant by the waist side. So, and I connected it to my chest line like you see me doing, then connected it also to my hip line. Okay, yeah, so which means that initial straight line there is discarded, so you can see. And that's it, guys, for the side there. All right, so I'm also going ahead to make my armhole curve along my chest line there, you can see. And yes, guys, we're done with this part. You can see what we have here now. Yes, so the next thing of course I did was just to indicate the hemline. Okay, so I used 1.5 inches. I marked it down that I'm going to be using for my hemming. Okay, yes, so the remaining 0.5 inches will be for the joining on my shoulder. So you can see that. So from that my hemline, I'm just going to go up by 15 inches. 15 inches because it's going to have a side slit. Okay, side slit on both sides. So you can see that 15 inches point. I will later on notch it down. So that's where, when I'm sewing, that's where my sewing will stop. Okay, yes, that's for my slits. And yes, guys, coming for the neckline now, I'm using a neck width of 3. I'm marking that down. Then for the back neckline, I used 1.5, neck width of 3, neck depth of 1.5 for the back. I made my curve like so. You can see this. Then for the front neck depth, I used 8 inches for the neck depth. You can see I went ahead to mark that as well. And of course, at that point, I moved in 0.5 inches. Then after moving in 0.5 inches, then I connected it to my neck width. So mind you, later on I realized this neck was a little bit up, so I needed to increase it again. So I made the adjustment later on. But of course, as we go along, you also see how I made that adjustment. So what I'm trying to say is that I later increased it from 8 inches to about 9.5 inches, and also on the back neckline. So that was it, guys. You can see going ahead to cut this out. So guys, this is the point where you take your time now and hit that subscribe button, okay, if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel. Remember also to like this video, share with your friends, share with your sewing communities. I will really appreciate this a lot. Honestly, this actually doesn't take so much from you. Like, what am I even saying? It takes nothing. It's just for you to like the video. I mean, this goes a long way to encourage me, okay? Like, share, and subscribe. That's all, guys. That's all I'm asking from you, and I really appreciate this. Thank you so much. For me to get my sleeve length, so I had to take off some inches from the edge there. You can see. So from that starting point, indicating my shoulder width, then from the shoulder width, I now marked about 12 inches, which represented my sleeve length. Okay, yeah. So you can even decide to use the entire fabric, but I just wanted to take off about 1.5 inches thereabouts, okay? And that was fine. So going ahead to cut out my shoulder like so. You can see what we have here done. And yeah, so this is it, guys. This is what it looks like. So I'll just go ahead and take off one piece, which is the back piece, so that we can cut out for the front neckline. So for the front neckline, I also went ahead to cut this. It was later on that I made my adjustments anyway, so you still see it as we go along. So this is what our neckline looks like. You can see what we have here. So this is it, guys. See, so now for the pockets, now I had to indicate about 22 inches from my shoulder. Yes, 22 inches. So I made a straight line like you see me doing. So mark 22 inches from the shoulder on both sides and connect it on a straight line like so. So this shows that this is where my pocket is going to be sitting, okay, from this point. Yes, and of course, see what my back outfit looks like. You can see this now. So setting this aside now, let's cut for the pocket. So the pocket is just this tiny piece we have here. I have about 8 inches in width here, then 10 inches in length, 8 by 10 inches for the two piece. Yes, that's, and I also have this piece of fabric I'll be using for the band of the pocket. You can see this. So this band here, you can see I've already ironed my interfacing here. And here I have about 2.5. By the way, this was a crepe fabric. That's the plain fabric was a crepe fabric, okay? Yeah, so all I need to do just to make a tiny fold on both sides, about 0.25, just like you see me demonstrating. Just make the tiny fold and iron it down. Then also about 1 inches on the lowest part. You can see what I'm doing, and that's all. You can iron it down. You can use a little bit of hemming gun just to put it in place. Then for the upper part, before ironing it, is also important to sew the band first before that side hemming or folding. Yeah, so sew from the inside, then top stitch on the top. I'll do that now. Then when I was done, this is what it looks like. I mean, this is just a straightforward thing. There's nothing difficult here at all. Just to iron both sides and sew your band from the right side, the wrong side, and top stitch on the right side. Now to fix the pockets, now from that line I indicated the center point and I moved 2 inches apart. You can move 2.5 inches apart, but I moved 2 inches apart. You can see from that center point, still moving 2 inches away from the other side as well. So this is where my pocket will sit. So just place it on that. So which means the distance between my pockets, the two pockets for the front, is about 4 inches. That's what this means, right? Yes. So, and it's very important to pin this down, just like you see me doing. It's very, very important you pin it down so that when you are sewing, it will not have, moving in here and there. Okay. Yes. So just pin it down properly before taking it to the sewing machine. So once that is properly done, you can go ahead and top stitch on the 3 sides. On this side, just like my hand is moving this way and of course this way, and that will be it. And of course repeat the same thing for the other side. So that will be it for the pocket. Okay. Yes. So it's very important you fix the pocket first before you now start joining the shoulder. So once that is done, then I'll bring my back piece now and place it right side to right side. Then I'll go ahead and join the shoulders. Okay. Now after joining the shoulders, then I cannot fix the band on the sleeve, right? Yeah, but I'll just quickly do a quick demonstration now, just like I'm using my pin now, assuming I'm joining my shoulders. Okay. So after joining my shoulder, you spread out your sleeve like this. Then this is the time you now fix the band. Okay. Now the same thing I did for the pocket, I'm also going to do. That's the way I'll fix my band as well. So this band, you can see I also iron my interfacing, and it's the same width of about 2.5 as well. So I'll go ahead and sew from the wrong side. This is just what I did for the pocket as well. Sew on the wrong side like so. After sewing on the wrong side, say about 0.25 or even 0.5, okay, by the time you sew on the wrong side, then you flip it to the right side. By the time you flip it to the right side, you will just hem it in. You just hem it about 0.25, then top stitch. It's as easy as that. Okay, that's just it, guys. So I'll do the same thing for the other side. So once I'm done, okay, with the pocket, then of course, and the sleeve, I'll show you the next step. And guys, at this point, you can see my pocket has been fixed. You can see how this is looking. And of course, you can see the band on the sleeve. You can see this now. This is looking beautiful already. You can see on both sides. Okay. So guys, it's time for us to fix our collar. But before that, so this was the point where I made that adjustment on my neck, because at this point I have to wear it on my mannequin to see how it really looks. So I felt that I needed to increase the neck depth again. Okay. Yes. So looking at it, you can see the way it is. I have to bring it together by bringing the two shoulder joinings together. Okay. So I have to see the way I'm holding it firmly. So joining the two shoulders joining together, you'll be able to align it very well like this. So I told you I later used 9.5. Remember, the depth of the front was 8 inches, so which means I later increase it again by 1.5, and that is what I'm doing here. Then for the back, I also went down a little bit, about 0.5 as well. So just go ahead and connect it all to that neck width. So what I'm trying to say is that we ended up using neck width of 3 inches, neck depth of 2 inches, no longer 1.5, 2 inches for the back, while we later use neck depth of 9.5 for the front. I hope you understand. Yeah, that's exactly the adjustment I made here. So you can see, so once I was done trimming off those excesses, and we're good to go. So this is what we now have. All right, so it's time for us to now fix our collar. And of course, still using the same fabric. You can see I have my interfacing, and what I have here is 5 inches in width. So by the time I folded it into 2, which means I now have 2.5, right? Yes. So by the time I sew it now, so my collar will be 2 inches. So you can even decide to use 4 inches. It totally depends on what you want. If you don't want your collar to be 2 inches, you can use 4 inches. Then your collar will be 1.5. Okay. Yeah. So you can see me notching those two edges there. You can see those notch on both edge there of the front. Then I'm going to start sewing from that notch point. I will sew from that notch point all the way around to the other end of that same notch point, right? Yes. So quickly using my pin to do this now. So once I'm done using my pin, you can already see how it looks. Just go ahead and sew it round. After that, look at the outcome. You can see already sitting pretty like so. So once this is done, I'll have some excess. I'll just trim off that excess. Then I'll just hem it in, just fold it in about 0.5, then top stitch on the front part. You can either top stitch on the front or you can still sew it from the inside. And that's it, guys, that's it. So once this is done now, you can just bring everything together, right side to right side, and go ahead and join the sides. Okay, take it from the armhole, and remember we are having a slit, so we'll stop at that point. So my slit is going to be what, 15 inches to the hemline. Then I'll also hem the sides of the slit like so. Okay, and of course finally you go ahead and hem the lowest the hemline of the dress. Okay, yeah, so repeat the same thing for the other side, and trust me, this outfit is ready. Thank you so much, guys. We've come to the end of this one. Hope you find this helpful. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you on the next one, guys. Bye.